But
speaking of that,
that kind of talks about the Mariners. So they are not as good as Ken Griffey or his era at all by any means. But
I have an interesting question really quick for that. Then actually,
yeah,
I was listening to this the other day. I think it was on one of the Mariners social media pages or whatever, one of the podcasts that we listened to. He goes, "What former Mariner right now would you bring back?"
I saw this
for the
he
team.
Said Jay Buhner. I'm like, why?
Well, I thought it was interesting because he's like, I want a power hitter, and I go,
Griffey.
Well, Griffey for sure, but he's technically a center fielder, so I understand why.
Move Julio to right.
But I'm saying hypothetically, you can't move a player; you have to plug and play.
I see what you mean.
I said, to me, I went, yeah, Buhners have got some power behind him, but I went, he's not your best corner outfielder. Why do you not bring back Ichiro? Yeah. Just slap some. If you can slap base hits and have Julio up behind him with
prime Nelson Cruz at DH.
Not a bad one either. I mean, there's a bunch of them. I thought it was interesting. I just thought Ichiro, because if you can just slap someone on base, like Rojas right now.
Fine. He's just not hitting for power.
No, he's hitting singles, and with Ichiro's speed and getting on first base every time, it does make
first to third, and then
you make an interesting
little dink, and then he scores.
Exactly. So I think I thought it'd be Ichiro would be my pick. Or I said Nelson Cruz or Edgar. It's like, give me. And Edgar technically can play third, first, or he played left to start his career. He was really bad.
Probably.
He was an awful fielder.
He does not move
quick. No, but I was like, or bring him back to DH because he hits everything.
DH is so bad.
So anyway, but that does call into the Mariners.
Yeah.
We had a couple series now that we've gone through. The Cleveland series. Well, the Cleveland series I was not upset about.
It wasn't bad. They won 8-0, lost 6-4, and then lost 3-2. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and to me, it's also like
that's a good team.
They're better than us.
Yeah.
That's the thing is maybe not pitching wise, but overall as a team, I think they are a better team.
Yeah.
So to me, you go through the A's, you beat the A's 2 out of 3. The Royals,
the reason we lost is our hitting. I mean, that's
100%. You have the Royals, you lost 2 out of 3, which again, the Royals are not a bad team. You're on the road as well. Yeah. The White Sox, you win 3 out of 4. We all know what happened on Thursday. You moved pitchers around. You brought in Hancock. Yeah. You kind of expected it. But then obviously you go and sweep Texas, which is massive. Yeah, you do lose 2 out of 3 to Cleveland, which
I think it was more of the high of being 10 games up and beating the Rangers that bad, and then moving into this next 2 series was like, what?
Yeah, what are we doing?
What just happened?
100%. And I think losing 2 to the Marlins, again, I get it being on the – my dad will say this. You go, oh, but they're on the East Coast. East Coast swing is tough. Everyone has to do it. Yeah, they have to come over to the West Coast.
We do have the worst if you look at flight miles and all that stuff.
But who cares? I'm not going to play that as an excuse because the Marlins have to fly up to L.A., Seattle, Cleveland, all these other places, and their time changes may be worse because they play their games at 6, 7 o'clock, which are 9, 10 o'clock. So they're playing till midnight. Yeah, we have to play when it's kind of we're waking up and we're getting. But I think it's better to play earlier than it is later. I think we need to win at least 2 out of 3 against Tampa. Right now, it's 1-1.
We did tie it up. I was going to say we tied it up. I don't know if it's still 1-1.
It still is 1-1. But the other funny thing is, I know our home record is like.
So yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. So home record, we're 27-12. So amazing. Road record 18-23. It doesn't.
It's not
actually sound as bad as it is.
But it just seems like. Cause I feel like all the scores have been we've been getting pooped on.
But the problem is Haniger, France, Raleigh, and Julio.
I don't even think it's Julio.
This road trip specifically.
Oh, sure, yeah. Julio, they've combined for
they just have not hit.
Yeah.
And if those 4 guys aren't hitting, you're not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no chance.
No, I agree. And I think it's interesting, today everyone's going, why is Ryan Bliss not playing? Ryan Bliss has been on fire. You bring back Jorge Polanco, who's been absolutely terrible this year.
Yeah. Bliss, I have his stats. He's hitting .265 this year, 1 home run, 1 triple, 3 doubles, 4 steals in 21 games.
Keep him in the game.
And there's no on base percentage .345.
He's been better than anyone but probably Rojas and Julio.
He's been good. Just keep him in.
I think the bullpen's been a little rocky. I still think Bauman needs to literally just cut him. I'm over him. He was a good, fun chance, but he's not been good. Spires back on the IL. Santos and Brash obviously missing his
Santos is supposed to come back soon.
Yeah.
He was seen throwing 99 recently. I heard that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And it's funny because Voth, Stanek, Thornton, Saucedo, Munoz, and Stanek have all been fine. They're not. I'm not going to tell. Munoz could be an all-star.
Munoz has been good.
He's been good.
The rest of them, okay.
Yeah, they've been fine.
But good and serviceable.
100%
fine.
Besides Bauman, he needs to go.
Yeah.
The starting 5 is the best in baseball. I don't care what anyone says. From 1 to 5, they have been the best. I know Miller had a rough outing last, and Wu did too. Cal is now under the Mendoza line, which again, it's a catcher, but again, we know he should be hitting like 220, 330.
Yeah, he's an interesting year.
Well, everyone's striking out so much. Like, JP Crawford needs to get out of the leadoff spot. Like, this is me being manager, Kellen.
Yeah.
JP needs to get out of the leadoff spot. It needs to be Rojas. Rojas has been our best hitter.
He did good when
he was
off
thriving in the Ryan Bliss needs to keep playing because he deserves it. He's played well. Ty France has actually been good. I'm okay with Ty France still there. Dylan Moore needs to.
Luke Raley needs to play.
Luke Raley needs to play every game. You bring Julio in. I think you platoon Robles and Canzone.
I think that's what they're kind of
doing.
They're
both young enough, and they both have the talent to be good, but you need to get them left, right, left type thing.
Yeah.
Mitch Garver is your backup catcher. He needs to stay backup catcher. He's done hitting. Yeah. Your hitters, if anything, should be, you can put Luke Raley there if you want. You can put Haniger there. I know Haniger's not been great. Or you need to keep Locklear up. Yeah. I also don't mind pinch hitting Dylan Moore for the speed and whatnot. But he needs.
I don't mind Dylan Moore even playing a little bit. He's been fine. He's been
okay. He's been a good start every game. He's been a good platoon player. Or you put in Polanco as your DH, but Polanco's been bad. It's just I would love to sit down and go, Scott, what are you thinking? Yeah, to be completely honest, what stats are you looking at that I'm missing? Because Ryan Bliss should be playing every game until he's starting to fail because he's playing well. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, but we are now 6.5 games in front of the Stros and the Rangers, both Texas teams. The Rangers just got Scherzer back. Scherzer looked unreal.
5 innings, but he looked really good.
5 innings of no hit ball, or 4 innings of no hit ball, and they gave 1 hit or something like that.
Pretty solid for sure.
Obviously, the Astros are gonna. I mean, they're 2 games under 500. They're gonna be the Astros.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. The Mariners. This year's Mariners team has to add.
Dude, that's what I was going to talk about.
They've deserved the chance to add. Last year, I agree. They were a couple games under 500, barely in the wild card hunt.
Honestly, I loved Paul Sewald, but that was a fantastic trade what they did last year.
100%.
In the situation they were in, that was the trade you had to make.
100%.
So I hated it at first, but
it's like you had. I mean, it was hard to look and go, okay, you have Brash Munoz.
Yeah, you can't.
Obviously, you didn't know Stanek, but you had Spire, Saucede. The bullpen has not been a problem for the past 5 years for us. We've been able to make something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm. But talking about the Marlins and adding, the rumor kind of around the Marlins right now is Jazz Chisholm.
I'm fine with it. We need a second baseman.
Interesting.
And I don't know I don't know what you give up to get him. To me, be honest, I think you just say Polanco go because that just swaps the second baseman. It's not going to be the trade, but you probably give up him. You probably have to give up Hancock. You probably have to give up one
That's of your. That's the only problem. I don't know.
Jazz is pretty good.
He's got a 265 career hitter,
but he's not old.
I think he's 27.
I think he's 26 or 27. And so then you get rid of one of your 2 shortstop infielders. I think that's all you have to get.
Cole Young.
I think it'd be Young is the worst. No, Young's the better.
Young's a good one.
So I mean, they're both really good. But I would say, okay, you give up Emerson, you give up Hancock, and you give up Polanco. I think that could get it done because we all know that they're not going to do anything. It's not like they don't want him. He's obviously very good. He's also super versatile. He can play second
and outfield.
In the outfield. He's 26. I would be okay with it. I don't know what his contract looks like, but I think that would be a great trade. I also still am really high on trying to get Brett Rooker.
Yeah. I think Rooker makes the most positional wise.
We need a corner outfielder so bad.
That would be so
every
much
day.
If
and then
Bliss continued to do what he's doing, he's serviceable at second.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't.
But apparently, he just doesn't play him.
Yeah, he's just not good enough because somehow 260 when you have someone who bats 198 is not good enough. Jazz Chisholm is on $2 million this year with 2 years of arbitration. So you get him for 3 years minimum. Yeah. No, 3 years minimum, and then he's an unrestricted in 27. I think you do it, and I think he probably demands around 10. So probably what Polanco's on, because Polanco's up there. Polanco makes pretty good money for us.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. They're in the position to make a move.
I said, the Mariners, the players, Cal Raleigh and everyone has said it before. Mm-hmm. Other teams add, we don't add. You see the difference. I think. Yeah, he's on $10.5 million for I think. I don't know if he has another year under him, though. But he makes $10 million this year, $12 million next year. It is a club option next year, so he's not going to get $12 million.
There's probably a buyout though.
Or
is it? No,
it just says luxury.
It just says clubs. You can use. It's player options you can buy out.
He signed a 5-year deal with Minnesota. Blah, 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 blah. Burning a base of that. I think he's 2024 includes a $1 million buyout. 2025 includes a $750,000 buyout.
Yeah.
He's not getting $10 million or $12 million. So he's in like a prove it year. He needs to go somewhere where he's going to play and prove himself. I think if you trade him, then that also looks at the Marlins. They go, we clear up space, we get rid of Jazz, who we don't. I mean, we're not.
And you get future.
And you get Hancock, he's
serviceable.
He can be a good pitcher if you give him minutes. You get up like an Emerson, who's going to be a good shortstop. Maybe you do have to go up another like lower tier, 15, 16, 20 guy or whatever in the. I mean, we do have like the second best farm system right now, so we have the pieces.
Which is surprising.
This team deserves to get a couple players, and I know people. I've said it before. Keep the farm system. Don't lose them. They're going to be good players. Hey, we have a good team right now.
We have to take advantage of it.
Cole Young got to go for someone good. If you can go out and get someone legitimate who you know is going to just – and yes, have we had trades where we traded at Andrew or Adam Jones for
Eric Bedard?
That sucked.
Yeah.
Okay? Eric Bedard was –
we traded Ketel Marte too. I mean, we've done that. I mean, we've lost people.
And Eric Bedard was a great pitcher before he got so hurt here. It was just one of those fluke things.
Well, look at the Padres. Like we got Munoz and Ty France from them.
Yeah, who would have thought
they got Aaron Nola's brother, Austin Nola, the catcher.
And one other thing, they got someone better.
Oh, it was the Dan Altavilla. The guy has the biggest forearms ever.
Oh yeah, it was the bullpen guy. But I just think, in all honesty, I think you have to listen to an offer from everyone and I think if it means really shaking up the lineup and saying like, okay, JP, you're gone. I get it. I love JP. He's been a great guy for us. He is not a World Series shortstop.
Yeah.
He's not a hitter. You can't lead him off. I get it, but we have to make some serious moves.
Yeah.
For like MLB playing, like Brent Rooker, for Luis Roberts, you have to just go balls to the wall.
You wish.
Go for it, but we won't do it.
Nope, probably not.
And we can always pray about it.
Yeah, who knows? Gotta love being a Mariners fan.
Here's your weird stat, though, I want to show you,
Good
too.
Times. Yeah.
Mariners are 10-6 in the home white.
Okay.
3-1 in the teal.
Nice.
8-14 in the teal.
Ooh,
so we're back.
Maybe don't love the teal.
No. 3-1 in the cream.
Okay, not bad.
18-13 in the navy.
Bring back the grays. That's my opinion.
And the ugliest jersey, we're 6-0. The City Connect, we're 6-0.
But if we're gonna
win,
we
need to get rid of the teal for the navy. Maybe try it out. See if we switch it up. See
something.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
So we have a winning record and everything except for the teal, which the teal is arguably the coolest jersey we have. It's pretty sexy. Thanks for listening to the Kind of Athletic podcast. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials and come back next week for next week's episodes.